Hey, this is Joel Oney at J Money in the heart of the Buckeye State, and I want to personally welcome you to today's episode of the Steel Kings podcast with my good friends Jared Ledford and Eric Olson, better known as the Steel Kings. Be sure to check out jmoneyllc.com for financing solutions for your buildings. And now let's get back to the Steel Kings podcast.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, man? This is Jared, and that's Eric. We are the Steel Kings. Welcome back to another podcast with us. We are so glad that you are here. Check out our title sponsor, the guys over at J Money. They will help you out with your metal building financing, your shed financing. You do pools, windows, doors, whatever it is, the guys at J Money can help you out. Check out the guys over at Cold Spring Enterprises if you are into bending tube steel. Okay, the VersaBend will do it in one fell swoop. Contact Cold Spring Enterprises. The team over there will help you out. Eric, my brother.
What up?
We're back with another episode, man. We are
I think we're on 32. 33.
We are hot. Something like that, dude. I don't even know anymore.
I just drank a new Keurig cup that's a Southern butter pecan organic. I haven't had it before, and
okay.
Banging good. Just FYI.
Okay. All right. I'm enjoying the sugar-free Red Bull. I've switched from Monsters to Red Bulls, so I'm on the Red Bull bandwagon. I'm not sure what you got there, brother. You got a White Yeti. That's nice.
Well, no coffee because it was so good. I drank it so fast.
There you go, man.
I had to because our guest today I've got to keep up with. So
high energy, high profile. Dude, we had a blast. We've talked about the Shed Expo nonstop for the last couple of weeks. You guys know we were there. You saw us. You talked to us. You said, hey. We talked about this on our last episode, right? We talked about the booth that we said was the best booth at Shed Expo. The guys who were dropping people into baskets of AirPods, not baskets, but a big, dude, people on a crane. I'm telling you, can you get a Diet Coke? We're paying like $4 for Diet Coke. Cardinal hooked everybody up with $15 in vendor, like free beverage money or whatever. Okay. And like people are throwing away $15 because the $15 was printed like fake money on the back of the brochure. So I was going through the trash can.
I never used mine.
Dude, I was trying to go through the trash can looking for money because the bottles of pop were basically like $5 a piece. And I'm walking past these booths and I'm shaking and howdying with people and like, hey, can I interest you in a Coke? And I'm like, for free? And they're like, yeah. And sure enough, just like we talked about, it was the JMAG booth. And like you sit there and like, you're not getting sold anything. You're just getting sold a good time. I talked to the guy we're getting ready to interview, and they had this like Jumbotron, like the biggest screen you've seen in person. And you can get right up next to it. And there is the man, the JMAG guy, Jim. He's in a jumpsuit at a airplane hangar with like jets. And I'm thinking, who doesn't want to work with these guys? They've got ice cold Coke, Diet Coke. They've got snacks. They've got cool dudes running around here, and they're dropping people in a crane down into a pool of AirPods and money and cool stuff, and never felt like for a second I was getting sold anything. Found out and had a good time. Got to meet Craig for the first time. We're going to interview Craig Felker today. If you're in the industry and you don't know Craig, find out who he is. He is a high-energy, dynamic personality. He was the host of the Shed Sales Summit, amongst other things. I can tell you, high energy, visionary, executive leader, former Billboard charting Sony recording artist. So we're throwing in some Easter eggs here. This guy's been around. He is a cool dude. Eric, you got anything to add, brother? What are we doing this week? Anything before Craig gets in here?
Man, it's only Wednesday. You know, another cup of coffee, and who knows what'll happen.
Yeah, I know. Shot out of a cannon. Shot out of a cannon. So
this guy is a spirit. Yeah, he's a spirit brother. He enjoys life just like us. And
right.
when you meet somebody that enjoys anything in life, it's like a suction cup of personality. So it's good.
This guy is responsible for a lot of, and the reason I said all these things, right? This guy is the chief branding officer for JMAG RTO. He is a visionary leader, and I'm glad that he's on the podcast today.
Let's bring him on.
Craig, there he is.
Man,
Craig.
You're with the Steel Kings, right? So
hey, Craig.
Shot out of a cannon. So Eric gave you balloons just like that.
I mean, Steel King is a cool. I mean, Steel King's. Come on, that's a cool. Listen. I'm working out once a week now, and I hope that I could be Steel King one day.
It's certainly not that kind of steel. Okay, we are not claiming to be. Now, Eric, on the other hand, Eric can pump.
I can put up some weight. I can put up some weight.
Me, not so much. I'm out on that. I get excited about other things. I get excited about sheds and buildings. Dude,
listen,
Craig,
I'm a runner. The fact that I lift once a week now is like comical to all my friends. But that was a super generous intro, and pumped to be here.
Dude.
Talk to you guys.
Yeah, man. We met at the Shed Show officially. I have known of you for a while in the industry. Wild Wednesdays. There's a lot of different things that you do in collaborative stuff. The energy that you bring to the table as a leader in our space is really something that we wanted to reflect on today. So maybe just give a brief overview. I know we gave you a little bit of a shout out, but tell us what you want to tell us up front, and then we'll just jump in, man. We got a lot of stuff we want to hit and not a lot of time to do it. So let's go.
Well, I would just say your energy introduces you before you even speak, right?
That's right.
And so, so many people, I mean, people know me as that wild energy guy, right? Yep. And a lot of people initially are like, this dude, is he even for real? I mean, a lot of people don't, and would say it's the longest game possible, but this is just the way the Lord made me. And
Amen.
Because I legitimately love people, like love people, everything we do matters. So it's not some like hype thing. It's not just a coffee thing, although I'm always probably somewhat caffeinated with a little extra juice,
sure,
or a little extra dopamine, because I run a lot. But dude, I love people, man. And so I'm pumped. A lot of people don't realize that I did spend, and I get this a lot, like I was gone from the industry for a few years because when I came into the industry, I sat on the manufacturing side for 4 years, and I didn't look the part.
Yep.
I'm a big believer in that when people are able to be themselves, like the way they were created, then you will stand out, they will stand out. And so I think that's kind of my mantra: just help people believe in themselves, help people see something in themselves that maybe they can't see, or they have trouble seeing because their light has been dimmed by some lie that they're believing. So
man. That's good preaching.
So we're getting started.
Let's
go.
We're getting started
preaching.
But I can tell you, stress on that wild energy, man, because you're going to talk to us about wild energy and leadership and all that stuff. But I think you're talking more about a culture than anything else. Yeah. Who you are is part of your personal culture. Yeah. And what you bring to that is how you can develop into the person you're meant to be if you're in the right spot. Right? And that's what we talk about a lot here. We've talked about it a bunch on the podcast. But being who you are at all times makes you better because you don't have to be who you aren't.
Yeah, and there are plenty of people who are yes people in this world, right?
Oh yeah,
and
we know a lot of them.
Grow in this world and be of ultimate value. Be the person who's yourself always.
That's right.
There's only one. There's only one of you in the world. So, but yeah, I mean, to get to the wild thing, I mean, I was in the industry for 4 years, went to banking for 4 years, which is hilarious. Because if you'd have told me that I would have been a banker, I was over client experience and led a team of about 50 people. But if you'd have told me I was a banker, I just, I can't believe that I ended up in that space. But I loved it and went from manufacturing to banking. And then Jim Coleman, Kyle Summers were in my ear. And I had started to keynote and speak about this concept, wild leadership or wild energy. And they had me come speak a couple years ago at the NSRA. It was 2 years ago, actually, to this last one. And when I came back, it just felt like a homecoming because I love the industry. I love the fact that we can talk business and faith and gospel, and it all kind of intersects. I don't have to hold any of that back. because the truth is that honoring people is a strategy. We can talk about that. When we talk about culture, and that set me on a pace because I knew Jim Coleman and Kyle pretty well, and I've known Kyle for 20 years. Kyle's band beat my band 22 years ago in a battle of the bands, and I'm still recovering. I'm still recovering. By the way,
you'll get him back one day. One day.
His band name was Jesus Christ Power Company.
How do you compete?
Wow.
Too much energy.
Too much energy. pure energy.
Directly to the source, baby.
Yeah, that's right, man. They're connected directly to the source.
They were loud and true.
We need to get to wild, but so Jim and Kyle are in my ear after I come back and have this homecoming moment where I get to speak at NSRA, and honored for that opportunity. And Jim understood predictive index that I'm a maverick, and Jim wanted me on JMAG's team, not to be someone else, but he knew exactly who I was, and he said, "Okay, you be you," and that's it. And so, wild energy, wild leadership is this: to lead people well, and everybody that's listening, whether you are in sales, whether you are executive leader, whether you are a CEO, an owner, entrepreneur, whether you lead a team, everyone is a leader because you're leading somebody somewhere at some point, because people are watching.
That's right.
All this stuff, everything we do matters. And so you're leading somebody somewhere, you're also following too. You're both at the same time. And so wild leadership is an acronym because acronyms help people remember things. And it starts with worth. You got to know your worth. And to be a great leader is to understand that your work is not your worth, right?
Yeah.
The first thing in this life is to understand that you were loved. You were loved. I mean, we'll get spiritual before the foundations of the world, man.
That's right.
So like literally before the world existed, I mean, and this is part of my faith, but I just believe that the king came off the throne before you even existed.
Exactly.
So like you're worth something, a whole lot. And
you're not here for no reason.
No, it's not. I mean, like predestined works. You got work to do.
Man. I know.
You got work to do. And so I believe that. And so when you know your worth, then you don't have to always be right. You can stand down sometimes. You can listen longer, right? And then when you are able to listen longer and surrender, right, you can initiate conversations and you can be vulnerable. Because leaders who know their worth can be vulnerable and they initiate communication. They don't wait till the sun sets, right? They come after it. They initiate conversations. They're proactive. And if you're in sales, you need to be leading conversations well with empathy, listening. And then L is lead with energy. You're either giving energy, you're taking energy. D is there to dream. And that's in a pattern for a reason. Worth, to initiate conversations, which has vulnerability, leading with energy, and daring to dream. And that's wild, baby. And we're just getting going.
I mean,
you're speaking Eric's language. This is Eric's language.
Bro,
this is Eric. Yeah.
I could start running if I didn't have a corded headset.
Get you some AirPods, baby.
I'm like, as you're saying that, there was this like statement that I always think of, and it's doing flows from being. So when you know who you are, that is what decides what you do. And so when you know who you are, the doing part flows naturally. I think before anybody figures that out, they try to be who they either want to be or who someone else wants them to be. And they don't manage their time well because they're letting somebody else like make those decisions, like subconsciously. Like, man, I'm in total agreement. Oh, I'm in agreement. Like, I couldn't say it more. Man.
You say just high five me and amen and let's go. So like, but I honestly, guys, so that was off the dome because it's breathing for me because I really believe that.
Yeah, I agree.
I really, really believe that. And so there's
have you been part of organizations in your life where culture was tougher because maybe that wasn't?
Yeah.
And now you're part of an organization where like you're the top, not the top of it, but the top of like everybody feeds off of the infectious attitude, or and so
it's contagious. And so like I actually just heard Ryan Leak. I don't know if you guys have heard Ryan Leak before. Phenomenal speaker, but he talked about being who you are, where you are, and he talked about how some people, they have they might be in a position where they're ready to move to the next position because of culture. And we can get deep into culture because it's my passion. Super passionate about honoring people and having a culture. I think it's good business. Forget the honor part and let's talk X's and O's. It's actually just a good return on investment and good business. But then
biblical. It's biblical to honor.
Yeah, and you talk about the integrity, then that comes back into it. But to get back to that, Ryan Leak says this: if you're in a bad culture right now, be grateful because you're probably supposed to be there, especially if you are someone of faith. If you're in a dark, bad culture, turn your light on. You may be supposed to be there for a very, very specific reason, and you need to be thoughtful and aware of that. But
oh no.
Sam, what's going on? Are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine, Lisa. I was just trying to get a screwdriver and all this other stuff fell down. I'm ready to go buy a shed so we can have some space in this garage again.
I agree. I keep looking at the shed Mr. Jenkins bought. Let's ask him where I got his.
Howdy, neighbor. We're wondering, how do you like your shed?
I love it. It's exactly what I needed, and I couldn't have asked for a better service.
And where did you get it?
I can't remember, but let me check. Something this nice will probably have the builder's name on it somewhere. No, I'm sorry. I can't find a name anywhere.
Well, we finally got a shed.
Yes, I just hope we're happy. The thing is a lot more shoddy than I expected, and I'm sure I told them I wanted a window, but they didn't have it in the paperwork, so I couldn't argue. Boy, is this a lousy shed. We haven't even had it 2 years, have we?
Barely. It was just a bad deal all the way around. Mr. Jenkins told me the other day that he likes his shed so much he wants to get a second one, but he still can't remember where he got it.
Your product is your best advertising. At Identigrow, we provide nameplates that ensure your quality products are never forgotten. Identify your products, grow your business. For more information, visit identigrow.com.
But yeah, culture,
Amen.
man.
We talk about that. We talk about that a lot. So like, I'm sure the people on the podcast, I always got to get these like one-liners in. Be the light in a dark room or shine a light in a dark room. Like we talk about that a lot, right? Finding the why behind why you're there in the first place.
Yeah.
So my journey over the last 2 years has been a sobriety journey. And not that I was ever so bad that I like had to be sober, but I found myself through that sobriety journey, and exactly what you talked about, went on an honesty tour. I called it the honesty tour of 2024, when I pulled back the curtain on my life and really opened up to say, this is who I am. This is what I want to do. I'm where I want to be. And if you don't want to be there with me in this moment, get out of my way. And from that point forward, we've moved so much more forward, not just mine and Eric's partnership, not just the things that I'm doing in my personal life and all those things, but because I was able to grasp a hold of the why behind the why for me, it made my journey that much easier for me to walk.
Yeah.
And even if it's hard to walk, if I'm where I was supposed to be in that moment and I handled myself in a way that honors me, my family, my friends, my journey, I feel so much better for having done it. That's why when you say the things you say, I get super hyped up, because to me, it's exactly what other folks need to hear. They need to hear people like me testify to the fact that if you're struggling with something, whether it be sobriety, whatever it is, address that head on. Talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Get out there in front of it, man. Because the second that you start hiding yourself in a cloak of somebody else or in somebody else's shadow, dude, I'm telling you, you are headed down a very dangerous path to not just being unhappy, but unsuccessful.
Yeah.
It's very hard to be successful and unhappy at the same time.
I don't like, I mean, I don't want to hyper spiritual. I really, if you know me, I would just say this. I've detoxed a lot from religion. So I don't try to speak I don't want to come across as a hyper spiritual guy. Everything is though. And I'll just say this. I do believe there's an enemy that tries to get you isolated. And so kudos to you, because when you are vulnerable, right?
Oh yeah.
Like truly vulnerable and transparent.
Yep.
You're approachable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody, it's a disarming position, not just with other people, but with the enemy. Because when you confess things,
it's humble.
They can't stay in the dark, bro. It's
humble.
And
a humble position is always going to squash negativity.
I don't find many people these days. I used to run from opportunity. Now I thrive in opportunity because I live in a world now where, just like you, Craig, I had to operate behind a desk for somebody else for the longest time. And even though I was pseudo happy, everybody's happy, right? You got 3 kids, you got this great life, all these things. At the end of the day, I wasn't being who I was destined to be. I wasn't being the person that I was made to be. I was not in that form yet. And it took me breaking out of a mold that frankly was thrust upon me in a lot of ways. Most people in their late teens, early 20s have to fit into this cardboard box, makeshift version of what their life might become. There's a picture, and I'll try to get it to Shannon to show everybody on the podcast, of 2x4s in a classroom, right? And a 2x4 is walking. It's basically an untethered log into the classroom. And what it is everybody in the classroom is a 2x4, and that's because they're being milled to be alike. And we need to be less alike. We need to be less like our neighbor and more like ourselves. And we would find a lot more satisfaction and personal happiness if we would just go down the road that we feel called to go on. If you want to get to the religious side of things, God made us all in his image. He loved us before we were born. He knew us in the womb. All of these things, the number of hairs on our head. He absolutely made us to be the person that we are destined to be. And if we are in disagreement with that destiny, then we're in disagreement with God in a lot of ways. Now, if you really want to get deep about it, that's where I feel. I'm like you, Craig. I've been burned a lot in church. Eric knows this. Eric knows my story, my personal story. I'm a believer. I'm a strong believer. And for me personally, it comes down to representing the best version of myself, because that's what God would want me to do. And that makes me a better leader. It makes me a better friend. It makes me a better coworker. It makes me a better in any role that I'm in. Yeah. And that's why I connected so much with what you were doing as culture. Culture as a business strategy is not something that Fortune 500 companies strive for. They strive for profit margins and we got to get everything in the green, and it's all about money this and money that. And one thing you said to me at Shed Expo, which I will never forget, I learned what JMAG meant. Okay. You told me what JMAG meant. I never knew that. I've been in the industry a long time, never knew that. And the tenets of JMAG. Everything that I saw in that booth has to be somewhat of a reflection of who the chief brand officer is. That's you. Fun. Why can't we have fun selling sheds? Why does everything have to be so boring and plain? And I'm not, no pun intended. Don't take that the wrong way, listeners. Plain meaning.
We're calling you out.
No. We're not. We'll have to cut that. We'll have to cut that. Don't cut it. Don't cut it. Leave it. Don't cut that, Shannon. Don't cut that. Okay. There's a difference between being boring and plain versus being in a plain community and honoring God in the way that you feel led to. And I would argue that I would say almost everyone in the plain community that I know is very happy and very forthright in what they're doing. And that's an
Amen.
honorable thing
Yeah.
to be. It's exactly
Amen.
what we're talking about. Culture as a business strategy is just that. That's their culture. What I'm talking about is from an outsider's perspective, like me and Eric, we're not in the plain community, right? I'm going to the Shed Show and I'm seeing the same old boring booth, the same old boring things. Oh, here's a carpenter pencil. Not that I don't appreciate carpenter pencils. Thank you. Shout out Shed Suite. I've got mine on my desk. I'm using it right now. You know, not that I don't enjoy a free hat or a free t-shirt or a free eyeglass wipe or whatever it is. But I can tell you what hits in a hot expo floor is an ice cold Coke. Okay. And that gets me in the booth. And in the booth, I see lots of fun and interactivity and just, I mean, really, it was just fellowship. Y'all had tables and like hangout spot and like, that's what it was all about. And to me, that's a reflection of you. That's a business culture that you help represent at JMAG.
Well,
Am I wrong about that?
Amen.
I would say this. A lot of people don't know what JMAG stands. Jim, Melissa, Allie Greenlee.
Oh, wow.
Right? JMAG is, so one of our core values is family
Not
first.
complicated.
Family
Right?
first.
Family first. That's Jim, Melissa. I joined JMAG, and I would like to think of myself as, I mean, I'm pretty good in the culture space. I mean, it's what I did at the bank for 4 years, built the culture. Before that, I believe in that strategy. Jim knows that, but Jim had set the roots and foundation here. I just aligned. There was alignment in what Jim, Melissa had built in JMAG. Joe, his brother, the ground was fertile here. I just get to come alongside and help tell that story in the best way possible because their heart was already established here. But I'll tell you this, I wouldn't have come anywhere, right? Because that foundation was so strong here. So when you come to the booth, what you saw was fun. Okay. That's one of our core values. Like,
yeah,
we want to have, and I mean this, I don't mean this, I mean it. We want to throw the best party and invite everybody to it. You know? I mean, yeah, that's what we're trying to do. Throw the best party, invite everybody to it. And not to give them FOMO if they're not with us. There was no strings attached, right? If you looked next to the human claw or the gravity grab, come on, we got to stay on brand.
Gravity grab. There we go.
Legacy for our 10-year anniversary. There was a family zone. There was a little launcher zone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why? Because our main core value, if you brought all the people who worked at JMAG, and I wasn't here, so I'm not here feeding them the story, right? If you ask them who we are, they're going to say, we're family first. And I want to say this. We don't mean the JMAG family like it's a drink from the Kool-Aid cult.
Yeah.
No, it exists to help their family, to build a legacy for their family, right? And so you had a family zone. You had something fun happening. Precision and service is our core value. We were serving people drinks and food, right? There's no lack. And we weren't there to sell anything because here's the truth. And I really hear me. And I know that there probably some of our quote unquote friends / competitors are here. There's no lack in this industry. There are so many great companies who do what we do and offer what we do. There really are. I'll give you their names. I'll walk down the list. There are friends, like good friends, PD Weaver, like Upward, Mott's, Huck, Tanner over at Upward. You know, there's so many companies that I could just keep going on. I love the Heartland people. I could go on with these people. Okay. I love them. But here's the deal. If we are ourselves, and we truly are ourselves, and we're on display, dreamers, that's who we are, with an unwavering belief in people who commit to life-changing partnerships that build a legacy that lasts. That's our why. And I'm not here to sell you JMAG. I'm just saying the truth is that people will either align with that, right? Or they will align with something else that fits them. And when you in marketing try to be everything to everybody, you're nothing to anybody.
Yeah, that's good.
So I'm not saying we know who we are. I think we do. We're the fun people who dream like crazy big. That's why the mission, That's why it was a booth around astronauts and little launchers. Kids had stickers, and we wanted it for moms who've been there all day with strollers to like actually have a moment to take a break. Like, there's a lot of detail and thought in this, but the point is that we're just saying we dream big. It's our 10-year anniversary. Wish you would dream bigger and not settle with a small story.
I loved that piece of it. I loved that piece of it. The one thing I wasn't able to find, which, you know, I would encourage folks, if you can, if there's a copy of that video to be anywhere shared, the mission launch video, the loop. I think that was powerful stuff, man. And I think for those that are in the plane community, right, that's something very exciting to see, because everybody has that opportunity to write the next chapter of their story. Your story isn't over yet. You've just written you've written a few chapters. You have the pencil in your hand, and you will dictate the next sentence of your story. Think about that. The very sentence, the next word, you can dictate that every single time with the decision that you're about to make. And I think that exactly what you said about JMAG, it all filters back to what we were talking about with culture as a business strategy. If Jim wasn't like that, you wouldn't have never gone to work for him at JMAG, period. Yeah. You saw the vision that he had, and you share that vision. And now together collectively, the two of you are much stronger for having that relationship. Eric and my relationship is very similar to that, right? Mm-hmm. Eric founded Dayton Barnes and All Steel Buildings. I was just a customer. I bought a building. Don't forget that. Don't forget that once upon a time, Eric and I were nobody to each other.
Yeah.
One moment in time, one shed guy in Trotwood, God bless his heart, that wanted to sell me a metal building and did not have a demo. I'm telling you, it's that like it is that crazy how one moment in time, I went to a shed lot that Eric did not own, that he had no personal say in. And that guy said, I don't have a demo. The guy in Huber Heights does. That's how I met Eric.
Yeah.
And here all these years later, 5 years later, we're on a podcast with our new friend Craig. You know what I mean?
Isn't that crazy how like the connection
one moment, 1 second.
Hey, presence matters.
Hey, I just want, for the record, we brought this up before, but like I went to a Speedway parking lot in the pouring down rain to collect his down payment and handed him a clipboard.
In the middle of COVID. In the middle of COVID.
I said, bro, I'll come to you. Where you at? He's like, I'm at Speedway. And I said, hang tight. I will be right there. And
Eric was jumping. Eric was jumping for that $600. He couldn't get my $600.
He was like,
get my $600 fast enough.
A human interaction. I need this so much.
I need it.
I'll tell you what, dude. I can tell you, I did my due diligence. I was a super easy customer. I got my stuff on time. And Eric, dude, to Eric's credit, man, it was simply, hey, man, just checking in on the building. Just checking in on the building. Can I get a couple more pictures? People really seem to like your building. Yeah, dude, here's a couple of pictures. And then I sent him a couple of leads. And then Eric's like, you really ought to just do this with me. Like maybe just come and sell some sheds or something every once in a while. Like come hang out. And the next thing I know, like I'm here all the time. Can't get away from it. And it's like, this is where I was supposed to be. Yeah.
We had a youth group. I was a youth pastor, and I had the youth group. We turned our office into a youth hangout that sold sheds, and they all worked there. That literally, well, they didn't really. I mean, their pay rate was like Five Guys burgers.
That's the ultimate pyramid scheme, man. I love that.
Yeah, and then they all graduated, and I was like, dang, we got to get adults now.
Yeah.
Pretty much it.
All right. Listen, and Matthew, listen, we got to expand the kingdom. That's just what the plan was. Let's go.
Let's hear it.
I love it.
Today, we have something truly groundbreaking to discuss. The Zula from Mobino Solar Solutions. This incredible shed ventilation system is set to redefine how we approach air circulation and energy efficiency. A shed ventilation marvel. With 3 robust fans generating 630 CFM, 2 fans usher in a breath of fresh air, while 1 strategically expels stillness. What's groundbreaking? It's solar powered. Harnessing the sun's energy, the Zula is a sustainable dream eliminating electricity cost. Sleek, powerful, and eco-friendly, this system is a game changer for those seeking efficient air circulation without compromising on green values. Visit Mobino's site for more of this innovative solar shed ventilation solution and use the Shed Geek 10 for an extra 10% discount. Just visit www.mobinosolar.com.
Let's talk about, we're on what, minute 30? Let's go to disruptive marketing. Can we talk about disruptive marketing for a second? Like move to like,
this is important. This is important, right?
All of our listeners want to hear this segment.
We are in an industry that is, again, boring and very much paint by the numbers. Everybody does everything the same. They put the same old sign out by the road. They line up their sheds the same way. They get a metal building demo or two. Yeah. Tell us how you can stand out in a crowd by being disruptive, but also very focused while you're disruptive. Is that fair?
Yeah, it's fair.
Online and in.
Well,
we'll chime in too.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I'm going to tell you a story about why I'm even on this call, because it is disruptive marketing to a T. But I have to start here first. And I really believe this is a tie to the Shed Show and everything.
Okay.
When you don't know and when you haven't clearly stated who you are, right? It's going to be hard for you to behave in a way or to even understand how to stand out. Let me explain. Most companies in our industry, most companies, period, but even more so in our industry, when you ask them if they have core values, if they have a vision, right? Do they have a mission statement? Most of them will say, sort of. Oh, I've got it. It's just not written out. That's what we get all the time. Actually, at the Shed Show, that's all we were. There's only one thing we offered, and that was to help people come away with core values, a new mission statement, and a 10-year dream crazy vision. Okay. We're doing that with a handful of companies that we wouldn't even get contracts from and wouldn't be partners with, just because we want to help people. So my point is, you can't disrupt really in a long-standing way until you clearly state who you are. I'll tell you the story how I'm in this room. When I first got into the industry, I was the music guy, right? I'd just come off the road. I'd been doing marketing for a year or two. Buddy calls me, says, "Hey, Craig, this portable building company, Shed Company, needs a chief marketing officer." And I'm like, "Hey, I'm not taking that call. Look at me. Look at my hands. Like I'm not a shed guy. I don't come from the right background." And he told me, "Shut up, Craig. Take the call." Literally. I shut up. I take the call. I'm 6 months, a year into it. I'm at dinner with our sales rep. Okay. Now, our core values we've clearly defined. We're dependable. We're progressive. We're best in class, and we're approachable. And over dinner, he says to me, and it'd been a conversation a lot, but he was like, "Man, remember, we got to do that song jingle." Now, I'm the song guy. I spent most of my adult life touring and playing music, right? I'm being me. I'm doing the culture thing. I've clarified our message and who we are. We're the build opportunity people doing best in class, building them like tanks. So he says this, and over dinner, my wife responds. He says, people all the time are like taking pictures and being like, "Yo, I'm flawless." And I just remember this moment right then where I looked at my wife and I looked at the sales rep and his wife, and I said, 16's on center. That's why we're flawless. And over dessert, there was a chorus and a bridge. Within an hour, we had this song called Flawless written. And the next day I go to our CEO and I'm like, "Here's the deal. We're approachable. We're dependable. We're best in class. And we're progressive. I've written a rap song. We're going to shoot a full-on music video, and we're going to town with this." And he was like, "What?" Again, holiness Pentecostals.
That's it.
But I'm like, listen.
They're down.
Listen, yeah, I mean, we'll get a tambourine if we need to. But I'll insert the Holy Ghost. I mean, that's who we are. He's with us. But, why? Because when you can brag, when you're white and rap, you can talk about being best in class and be approachable because nobody's going to take it that seriously, right?
Yep.
I can hit our core values in a way that's going to stand out, and nobody's done this because I'm being me, right?
Yep.
We go film the video, and everybody shows up to the video shoot. And I remember our COO at the time says this. He says, "I'm only being in your video if you have me like a dog on a chain." Well, the opening shot of Flawless is him holding a Rottweiler on a chain, right? It's just we just go for it.
If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's still out there. It's still floating around.
It's silly.
Nobody else has done it.
It's silly, okay? Here's the deal, though. We launched it. The dealers got excited. At the time, we had like 30 dealers. We broke every sales record for the next month. And you know what? Here's the deal. We would have people call, and Flawless would be on the message, right? Some people hated it.
Oh, man.
Dude, they hated it.
Yeah.
A lot of our competitors hated it and kept talking about it.
Yeah.
Which is good coverage.
So here's the deal. When you are disruptive, if you're not afraid to look silly, then you have probably not dreamed big enough. You got to be the one who doesn't care. And this is why people don't do it, because they're afraid of failure. They're paralyzed by the
insecurities.
We believe a little lie. And the truth is that no one really cares.
Yep.
Everybody is really just thinking about themselves. That's really it. And so
that's right.
Know who you are. And that's why I go back to disruptive marketing starts with clearly defining who you are. If you are I want to say this. If every one of you tried to do Flawless, that would be terrible. I probably shouldn't do Flawless again. Like, it'd be terrible. Like, you don't need to be me. That would be one of me is more than enough. I see the surveys sometimes. One of me is more than enough for some of this stuff. But it starts with just being willing to experiment, being willing to put yourself out there, and being willing to say, "I'll look silly." And most things that start a movement, that are disruptive, that change and move things, are things that people said, "Oh my gosh, that's never going to work."
Don't do that.
Don't do it.
Don't try that thing.
Don't do it. And the ones who are winning are just the people who kept doing it over and over again. And I say this about the Savannah Bananas. So when I was at the bank, I was at Paducah Bank, always a culture, always a focus on people and culture. When I got there, we rewrote something called Wow You. It was our new playbook around everyone deserves the most incredible banking experience on earth. And at the time, it was around COVID, the Savannah Bananas were just starting to go. Jesse Cole, Man in the Tux, had written the book, Fans First, How to Stand Out. And he came and spoke, and he actually partnered with us through some of that. I'm looking at it because it's on the wall here, what we built, that playbook. And Jesse had this idea that baseball was boring. And when he first started, like, nobody believed, they tried to do the traditional thing. And they were like, they didn't sell any tickets. And he just kept doing, like, baseball's boring and I believe this. I'm going to try this. It didn't work. I'm going to try this. It didn't work. Oh, this worked. Dancing umpire. That works. Okay, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try this.
It's like Major League.
And now they outsell every Major League team. They have like 2 or 3 million people on their wait list. And honestly, that was 5 years ago.
Yep.
What if somebody in the shed industry, what if somebody in the carport industry was like, sheds are boring, but they don't have to be. And just, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I guess my point in all of this is saying this. Define who you are. Be willing to look a little bit silly.
Listen up.
Just be willing to be present. In our industry, if you are literally, physically, consistently present, that will be disruptive. Right?
That's the best marketing strategy of all time.
It's so easy.
We have said that. We have said that so many times on this show, Craig.
Man, that's good.
That's 2 big interviews in a row. So we interviewed Darren. You mentioned Stormore earlier. We interviewed Darren a couple weeks ago. Darren said something that I always say: rising tide raises all ships, right? And you've hit on be present. So I mean, the Steel Kings must be doing something right, because every time we have a guest on, they already know our one-liners. We're getting them stolen by our guest. And I mean, Eric, we're getting them stolen by our guest.
It's all good.
Craig, dude, you have been
here for it.
absolutely fantastic. I think we've got more conversations in the can. We've got more time to come down the road. We're at our grace's end for today. But I can tell you, dude, this has been an absolute pleasure, an absolute honor to be on this call with you, on this podcast, to spend 40 minutes with you in this moment. And again, writing the next chapter in our book, whatever that looks like for the Steel Kings and for Craig, we'll keep you abreast of that, right? I mean, I think there's a lot of cool stuff we can do. We'll get Craig on here every once in a while because he matches our energy level for sure.
Can I ask one question before we end this?
Man,
anything you want, man.
Come on. All right. Because I've been doing a lot of talking and not as much.
Yeah.
Ask you a couple. I want to ask this question for you.
Yeah.
One year from now, we're having that butter pecan organic Keurig. We'll do that. Hey, listen, that sounds good, but we can
I signed up for the monthly.
We'll get pour over somewhere. We'll get a nice pour over.
Oh, a French press. I'm in,
dude. Je parle un petit français. Okay. Here's my question. In 1 year, we're having coffee. What are we celebrating? What am I celebrating with the Steel Kings?
Ooh.
Oh man, there's so much. Okay, let me get into the future mode. We're sitting, you say, man, what's worked the past year? We mastered not only being ourselves, but we mastered short form, vertical reels in between episodes, and it really skyrocketed our audience into outside the shed and steel building industry. And it's really produced this like viewership that not only looks for information and value in the shed industry, but like two likable guys that have good quality guests on where they're excited to watch our episodes. And that, I think that's probably, that's maybe not specific, but you know what I'm saying?
You know what I loved about you answering that? You went like worship mode. You were like, you were in it, like, and you just closed your eyes and visualized it. And I'm
saying it to you in the future in like a booth at a greasy spoon diner. More sugar. I need more sugar, man.
2 o'clock in the morning, because we grinded all night. I think for me, I agree with Eric's vision, because what we want to do with the Steel Kings podcast is we want it to be something that people attract themselves to for one reason or another, whether you're selling sheds, steel buildings, whatever it is. We want to provide some sort of insight. Yeah. For me personally, I want to continue to be on my journey, my personal journey, while making the Steel Kings a more focused part of my life. Because I think that what I want to bring to the table for the people who are listening to this is radical, crazy insight and truth all the time. I end every episode, unless you have another question.
No, it's my favorite question right now.
No, I think that for me,
I got to write down my answer.
I'm going to end it on this note, because I end every episode the same way. Get out in your community and do something for somebody else. It'll make you feel better. And I can tell you 1 year from now, if I'm out in my community a little bit more and I'm doing a little bit more for somebody else other than myself, I would feel that much better about what I'm doing every day. And I think that the Steel Kings, the reason I like this platform is because what we have realized over the last few weeks and months is that there are people out there who are willing to not only listen, but really digest what we have to say and value it. And truly, if you don't like what we have to say, come up and tell me. I'm good for feedback. But I can tell you at the same time, I wouldn't tell you anything that wasn't the truth. You can write down my words like they're gospel. I wouldn't lie to you. I would tell you exactly how it is. When we say we're going to go vet people, we're going to go vet people. We're going to talk to these companies for you, because you can't do it. You can't do everything. When you're running a small business, when you're trying to run a manufacturing house, whatever it is that's your task in this industry that brings you to listen to the Steel Kings, you need help from us. And whether that's just a pickup and a laugh on a Monday morning, maybe you're drinking your coffee and you're feeling a little blue and we can provide you some comic relief. Or maybe you're actually listening to every word we said and you're jotting it down in a notebook. Man, the Steel King said JMAG's really cool, so I'm going to check that out. Yeah. Or they said Idea Room is really awesome, so I'm going to check out their builder, or whatever the case is. J Money, the guys at VersaBend, the podcast. I hope that 1 year from now, we have as good, if not better, relationships with all the people that we've gotten to meet over the last year of doing this. And 1 year from now, we're celebrating with this is a bigger, more focal, more centered, personal part of my life. Because I love doing this. I could do podcasting stuff all day, every day, twice on Sunday. I'll interview anybody, anytime, any place, anywhere. I love getting to meet the people that are in this industry and share it with us. Because if we do better together, the industry will do better. And that's what we all want, right? That's what we all want.
That's it. And
Anything else, fellas? Craig, you had something, man.
Craig,
Share it.
are you a preacher? Do you travel preach? Do you? All right. I'm just asking. I figured maybe you were, but I'm feeling bold. I'm feeling bold. If you're listening to this podcast, this particular one, and you go to church and you think I could add value to in your pulpit, and you feel led, let me come preach the word. Let me get in there. I will come to wherever you're at.
I'm an encourager, but I'm going to encourage you guys to reach out to Eric, because he called me a spirit brother earlier. And I don't know that I've heard it said that way, but I'm for it.
I'm in.
Get out in your communities, everybody, and do something good for somebody else. It'll make you feel better. I'm Jared. He's Eric. Big thank you to Craig Felker. We will be back at you next week with another episode of the Steel Kings podcast.
Amen,
and for
buddy.
Today, we're out.
Stay
Peace
wild.
out, guys. Yep.
Stay wild, baby.
Before you go, the J Money team wants to thank you for listening to today's Steel Kings podcast. Remember, money is king, and if you need a financing option on your portable wood sheds or steel buildings, we are here to help. Just check us out at jmoneyllc.com for more information. And don't forget to catch the next episode of the Steel Kings podcast, and have a great day.